Hello, it's been a couple of days, so I'm going to combine my days. As some of you know, I've been helping my mother-in-law. She's been in the hospital for a week now, and so we've been kind of teaming it, doing night shifts and then relieving in the morning and vice versa. So it's been kind of a hectic week, and I've been keeping up with my vlogs. I've been reading them every day, but haven't quite been able to find that spot to be able to do my videos. So here I am sitting in the car outside of the hospital, and I last left off on day 21, so I'm going to do 22, 23, and 24 together because I think that they all go together, and I've been having a couple of epiphanies lately in reading different people's comments on various Facebook sites and things, and I get really disappointed because, and I know that it's not like widespread with, dealing with obesity, emotional eating. It's always just giving you a diet and telling you to follow that and to make it work. Well, I believe that the reason why I'm a serial dieter is because I've only just always followed the plan. And so when I picked up this book, 100 Days of Weight Loss by Linda Spangle, it was really interesting because I really want to attack and meet those issues that I have with emotional eating head on. And that's why I've done this video, to be able to address those, but I also wanted to do it face to face because there's so much anonymity through blogs. You can't see the people's expression, you don't know where they're coming from, and you don't really get a good sense of them. I mean, I know there's several beautiful writers out there that can blog, and quite frankly, my fingers aren't fast enough with my thoughts, so it's a jumbled mess. Even my mouth sometimes has a hard time keeping up with what my brain is saying. But the last couple of days I've had a lot of time to be able to sit in reverence and thoughtfulness, and also being challenged with where I go with my food. So with this 100 days of weight loss, it's really bringing some things up for me and how I'm able to deal with them, and I really appreciate that. And then there's some other things that I get nervous, and I have to decipher whether or not, am I nervous about this topic, or am I afraid of this topic. Nervous and afraid are two different things, because nervous I can plow through, afraid I run away. So the last couple of days has been savoring your food. Are you mindless eating? And I've done all of those. I mean, we've talked about it before, that we can sit in front of the computer and devour whatever it is that's your favorite junk food and not even realize that you ate it. And then there's the next day, it was part like savor your food, really sit down and taste every morsel and really get into your food. Well, you know what, that scares me, because it's like it's putting a lot of thought on food. And for most of my 57 years of life on this earth, I've been food has been my enemy. I've been afraid of food. Because people have put those on me. I'll love you when you're thin. You have a beautiful smile, but oh, if you were thin, you'd be a knockout. Different things play on your psyche, and I really believe that people didn't get fat overnight. And as my husband once told me, and he is such a blessing to me, is that he says, as long as I've known you, which has been about 27, 28 years, has been, you've either been losing weight or gaining weight. You've never stayed the same. And he's absolutely right, because even when I've lost weight, I still look in the mirror and see the fat girl. And this 100 days of weight loss has been so eye-opening for me, in the fact that the first day it was, get your mind right, get it. I used to be that way, but now I'm not. And I'll tell you, every day I'm thinking that there's different, like, old little patterns that I want to fall into, and it says, I used to be that way, but now I'm not. And so I'm really feeling encouraged that I'm incorporating that. The other thing, the next thing on day 2 was, are you interested or committed? And I realized that after all these years of dieting, I really was only an interested dieter, because when something better came along, or some food that I really wanted to eat came along, I ate it. And then it took me months, maybe, years to get back on my diet after, 50, 70 pounds came back on. So it's been just a really neat opening for me to address what's happening with me emotionally. And, but now something else is happening. The food program that I chose to try this time, I gave it a lot of thought, because I've been on Weight Watchers, I've been on Jenny Craig, I've been on Nutrisystems, and I've had nominal success with all of those, except I never stayed with it. And I remember sitting in Weight Watchers meetings, and I would think, they would tell you how to eat, or they would give you great recipes, and I just shied away from it, because I felt like if I put too much emphasis on food, I would start eating even healthy food. I mean, I gained weight on fat-free food. It was all about where I was mentally, because when I get stressed, I eat. And so this is changing for me, because I finally realized to be a committed dieter, I have to be committed to accepting a whole new way of life for the rest of my life. And the last 2 weekends, I've been challenged. I went to that special doula training the week before in Oklahoma City, and now I've had to be in Missouri here for the last week, taking care of my mother-in-law, and I've had to be very conscious of how I was eating and what I was eating. And you know what? I'm still going strong. My walking is a little bit off, and I'm trying to make an effort now to make sure I'm walking around the hospital a couple of times a day. But the thing that I feel really good about is I am sleeping really good. Even when I've had to take the night shift and be there with my mother-in-law in the evening, and I'm sleeping better than I have my whole life. Now, this is somebody, probably the last 10 years, I've been on sleeping aids. I've been on Lunesta, I've been on over-the-counter. I have had such a problem sleeping. And the last month, right before I started this new food plan, I decided I was going to just suffer through my insomnia, and part of it is my brain never shuts off. It's like when I hit my head, all these other thoughts go through my head, and I just can't turn it off. And so I decided I was gonna to power through that, because I'm putting all my thoughts to see my mouth. My brain is going faster than my mouth. I've been getting brain fog, and I've been forgetting things. And so I thought, might be those pills, and I need to stop those. And so I did, and I found myself doing a lot better with that. But now that I'm on my new eating plan, I'm sleeping really good. And I have hesitated to mention what kind of food plan I'm on, but now I feel like it's pretty important, because it makes a lot of sense for me, and it's a totally thinking outside of the box and getting away from fat-free, sugar-free. It's eating in a more cleaner health style. It's not paleo, but it's the ketogenics diet. And I really like it, and I don't want to influence or anything, because if your plan is working the way it is, that's great, because the whole thing is you need to listen to your body. And my body is telling me that this is really working for me, because in the past I've had a lot of digestive issues, and I've had bloating, and I just haven't felt well, and then I have an extreme hunger, and then I want to eat. And it's always when you're someplace, when you're talking about hunger, you have to decipher, is it emotional hunger, or is it, are you actually really hungry? You need to know the difference, and you do need to know the difference. But here's the thing that I've been experiencing the last week especially, is that I am not craving food. There's nothing that I want, especially in this. I mean, this is really stressful, having to be at the hospital every day, trying to figure out what to eat. I'm managing just fine, and I'm not hungry. I'm not famished. I'm not feeling like, I can eat a horse or anything like that. And I haven't been on a scale yet for this last week, but my clothes are fitting looser. but I have more energy, and with that energy I'm sleeping so much better. It's not like I'm chronically tired anymore either, because I could go through the day and feel like I could nap. I was like a chronic napper all the time. It's not that way. I really have the energy during the day, and I'm sleeping at night. I'm not even sleeping in my own bed. How great is that? Because I used to have my own pillow. I have to have my own bed. I mean, I was like really, sleep was sacred to me, because it didn't happen very often, and I'm feeling really good. And there's this Dr. Westman, and he's on YouTube if you care to look him up. He really makes a lot of sense, and but as I'm on these keto Facebook pages and everything, I still find a lot of people that are not addressing the emotional part of eating also, because it doesn't matter what diet you are on or food plan you are on. It matters of how committed you are to changing your way and listening to your body, because there's times now that it might be 12 o'clock and I'm not hungry, so I'm not going to eat, because I want to eat when I am hungry. I want to enjoy what I'm eating. And so I'm sometimes when you're looking at all these recipes, or you're following a food plan so stringently that you get into this routine where you have to eat every couple hours, you have to do this. I'm finding now that you need to really listen to your body and find out what works for you. If Weight Watchers is working for you, if a low calorie, extra, whatever it is, if you're going on a macro diet, but listen to your body and figure out how your body is reacting to what you're putting into it. And so I just really want to encourage you to check yourself physically as well as mentally, because the two go together, and if they're not working together, they'll sabotage each other. So I'm on day 24 now, and I feel really good, and I'm also beginning to feel confident, like, you know what, I think I'm gonna get this. And now the day is, I know I'm getting it, because I'm being met with so many challenges, and my food is not suffering, my head is okay, and my body is shrinking. So I hope this helps you, because it's really helping me. And these video blogs are like helping me a lot to be accountable to where I'm at, because it's really easy to sink into anonymity. And if you don't talk about your diet, and you don't look like, if you're not making progress, then it's okay, because nobody has to know. But you know what? I really want the world to know that I'm onto something, and it's something good, and I want to share it with everybody. So with that, I hope you have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow on day 25. I'm sorry I combined them all together, but I hope it helps. Slow down, know what you're eating, listen to your body, and enjoy your life. Thanks.